Hi guys, it's kind of been a while. I'm really just thinking about different aspects of life and just wanted to kind of share my thoughts and just kind of delve into this kind of reality that is YouTube and all the drama that's going on in the world. I think that drama is definitely kind of broadcast to us and sold to us in certain areas of Earth, and it's really important to remember that no matter what's happening, we can control our own thoughts. We have power over our own thoughts. And no matter what, it's always just a matter of controlling, and meditating and just striving for the best kind of route that serves our own personal purpose. And if you don't possess a wide era of responsibilities and whatnot, it's essential to just remember you don't have to worry about things too much. You have power over your world and your reality without a doubt. I've been studying a little bit into kind of like evolution and mental evolution. I think a lot of the time we don't really study into the psychology of things. Like, I've never found a single article online about the psychology of arachnids or the psychology of crabs or anything like that. They're really just seen as kind of like a subspecies to humans, where it's not necessary to kind of delve into what makes them tick, what they're analyzing from their own perspective, and that's very important to remember and analyze. Now, nirvana, or Vedic status of rationally divine mindsets, is a really peculiar thing to kind of strive for. And the term schizophrenic is one that is urbanely relating to like commonly sought figures of the both inept and eclectic personality altogether. There are different personalities that are relatable with different diagnoses of um, psychology and whatnot. Um, the terminology was given originally by Eugene Bueller in 1911, schizophrenia. I found him to be a very fascinating character altogether. This indeed was a time when the Western world was very scattered across, millions of desperate and excitable individuals all together, and they were definitely were, influential to their world, and the world was very influential and immediate for them at the time in the early 20th century. And trying to classify and declassify particular witticisms and structures of the human behavioral trait itself that is different and differentiating per person and diagnoses. I think, without a doubt, people are very prone to causing problems in the world, and I think a lot of problems in the world are caused by mental instability. That's why we have homelessness or anger or violence in the world altogether. At this time, we have even had to rationalize in 1911 the very facility of humans miraculously transforming from like apes over the span of millennia, millions of years it took for us to evolve. We kind of pondered this personage of which we were so readily defined already then. We were already experiencing different traits and stimuli that would affect something like schizophrenia or some kind of psychotic state that was very instant in the times of, say, even 1 million BC. People were experiencing very unfortunate things altogether. I believe schizophrenics are being given in this year of 2018 a very new kind of gadget of superior stimulus to prompt all kinds of different methods, diagnoses, and different demands of um, being given certain medications and whatnot. And it's kind of like a cultural personality where we're beyond a capable thought. We're beyond what we see to ourselves as capable expansion. But medicines have their downsides and their upsides, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I would say the bare minimum definition of prescribing a kind of mental illness is along the terms of kind of a classification over time to mean different things. Like, we delineate over time what Sigmund Freud thought to be a kind of psychosis, and what he saw to be a stimulus that created different kinds of mental illnesses and whatnot. And then over time, different stimuli like social media occurred, and technology and electricity occurred and influenced people in all sorts of different ways that made it much more easily acceptable to kind of analyze like what is a mental illness, what is kind of causing these different stimuli around us. And that is basically what I'm trying to say here altogether. Symptoms of psychosis could have differentiated over time quite considerably from like cave-dwelling tribes who, archaeologically observed, did not live, in the kind of dwellings we have now. They weren't as isolated. They were nomads. They were traveling around and living, separate lives from altogether what we experience nowadays in our more closed, more comfortable White Castle kind of reality that we endure from day to day. And one evidence proclaims that, applicable to this, that schizophrenia has grown promptly over 20 years past. Over the past 20 years, those diagnosed with the disease has increased substantially altogether. Both marijuana and hallucinogens, understandably, being not a rational part, but perhaps even a cure, not as a stimuli, but as a cure altogether for things and that deal with psychosis. And the FDA just recently approved a kind of studying the effects of depression and whatnot. How we find the easiest ways to cure depression oftentimes can be through hallucinogens, just kind of creating one in their own world, one isolated from other stimuli, and one that is more closed-minded and traditional, I would say. Hallucinogens altogether definitely prove the factor of curing depression altogether. But the consumption has grown itself in usage as well of hallucinogens, not only following reverberating stances of liberally inclined drug uses of the 1960s, but also just the kind of rationalized social world that we live in today, where people can communicate and effectively take such dosages that would cure depression and possibly even cure psychosis or enhance it at different levels. But that's mainly just what I'm getting at here, guys. I'm smoking L&M Blue today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'm Snowy Croquet.